you are either expanding or eating chips on the couch. We're going to talk today about why your bank account matches your tolerance for risk. Inside the Rich Woman's Room, we have a daily impulse that's coming from me. And today I've posted, if the investment of the coaching doesn't feel uncomfortable, it is not going to change anything for you. So continue being on your sofa and eat chips. While some thought, hey Janine, this was funny, it is good for a nice laugh, there's actually so much truth behind it. And I want to expand here with all of you why I deeply believe this. Looking back on my own journey, like the very first coaching I've invested, I think it was like 2,000 or 3,000 euros. Back then I was still employed. I've never invested in myself at all. Like, it's not true, not like I've invested in like travel and gyms and stuff like this, but not personal growth, right? So I bought then tickets for an event, a live event, and this was so much out of my comfort zone. Back then I actually didn't even have the money, and still I signed up for VIP, and I asked, hey, I would love to do a VIP, is this possible in installments? And they looked at me, I'm like, we've never had someone signing up VIP and installments, but it was possible, so I did it. Really in this belief of like, okay, I'm making this commitment and I don't know how the money's gonna show up, but I trust it's showing up because I just felt this was the right path, right? Later on, I've started investing like 10, 15, 20, 35, 100,000, 250,000, even like 500,000 in a coaching. And I just can look back because I have a file every Friday. I have a money date day. I look at all the things money related in my business, in my personal life. Where's my money going? Where's it coming from? Like so many things I do with money. And one part is I actually have a file where I'm tracking all of the personal development programs I've invested in. Just simply to see, I'm over 2 million by now. Just really to see I'm like, wow, you can take all the external things from me, but this is still the value I have inside of me, and no one ever can take this away from me. And I find this just so fascinating. And it's really, this list always made sure that every investment I make is really a big deal. It means something. I have a return of the investment, right? Because so often I've realized, and this is something, I'm always very honest and transparent. So if you're new to my world, if it's not your vibe, I'm like, sorry. But this is how we roll in the rich and happy world, because not everything is perfect in my world, and there's still like so much trial and error till today. And I think it's part of the journey. It's like we learn through contrast, right? So in the first 4 years of my journey as being a coach, being present online, I always was in like close proximity places. Either I had a one-on-one mentor with like real live calls every week, or I was part of a mastermind which also had live calls every week. So I was in close proximity, and this really helped me so much. And those investments, obviously, because you want to be in places where you're not the richest person, but kind of the poorest person, or aka the person making the least money. So those investments always stretched me financially, but those were always the rooms I wanted to be in. I wanted to master to make this kind of money, to bring in this kind of money with my business. And the last 2 years, I wasn't so much in like a long-term close proximity coachings. I had a couple one-on-ones here and there, it's like a week intense, like a month intensive, but not like a 1 or 2 year commitment, how I've made in the past. Instead, I've invested a lot in, it's a bit judgmental, so giving a warning before, in like Netflix style coaching, where you just kind of watch like Netflix, like programs like it's a Netflix. And those investments were like 15, 20K for a year. And I've realized that those investments were not a stretch for me. And most of the time, I didn't even watch the content. I didn't even consume the content. And it really made me contemplate. I'm like, why are you actually investing if you're not even consuming it? And yes, we can say, hey, you still invest in the energy and you're part of the field, right? It's all true. And at the same time, looking back, I've just realized that there's a massive difference if I'm making an investment and actually entering the room and fully participating versus just like watching and not participating. And obviously this is on me, but it really made me realize, I'm like, hey, by now I've invested such big amounts. If it's just like a 5K here, a 10K, 15, 20K there, especially for a full year, I am just energetically not invested, right? And I really came to this conclusion that if we invest money, because money is so important to us, we are also invested energetically, we show up. And I see this is true for the clients in my world. When I was always charging at least 15K for an offer and more, my clients were on the live calls, they were doing the work. It was like a stretch to invest this kind of money. It was out of their comfort zone. And I see this with my one-on-one clients who are spending at least $150,000, $250,000, depending if they do like 3 months or 6 months with me. It's such a stretch. Like, they're present, they are participating obviously in the live calls, they're doing the work, they're asking the questions during the week in Telegram. When we schedule VIP weekends, they're like happening, they're not postponing, they're not canceling anything. It's like, it's a full commitment, not only financially, but also energetically. And I find this so important. And there are a couple things I want to mention in this live. First, obviously, if money and our personal growth really matters, we make every investment that it has like a return of an investment, right? But if I don't value myself enough, if I don't value my own money and the way I've received this money, I just spend money. I do not make an investment, meaning I do not value if I actually get a return of investment. And all of us, including myself, we're guilty of this, where we've spent money. It didn't really mean anything to us. It was not important. It was not a big deal. And those were the moments when we didn't have a return of investment, but we spent money. And spending money in my world means the money leaves your economy. It doesn't circulate anymore. It's gone, right? And we've never learned the difference between, hey, how am I spending money versus how am I investing money? And by now I'm making sure that every time money is leaving my wallet, it's being invested. For instance, yesterday I had lunch by myself. I'm not just getting like some kind of food. I'm getting the best food. I'm really nurturing myself. It's organic, it's healthy. It's something that nurtures my body. Why? It's an investment. It's an investment in me. I'm making sure that the food I'm eating is giving me energy instead of taking me energy. I deserve only the best and nothing but the best. And the way, this is how I circulate my money, and that's why it's always coming back, right? Because if you always input manifestation, super easy explained, input equals output. So if my input is nothing but the best, right? What must be my output? Oh, nothing but the best. That's why my clients are nothing but the best. I'm doing the work in the best possible way. Guess what? The clients I'm receiving are the same. Input equals output. Same for financial investments. If we just invest a little bit of money, and this is different for all of us, right? It's not a certain amount. The output is also only a tiny little bit of growth. And I gave this example earlier in the Rich Woman's Room when I've explained this quote. I'm repeating this again here. If the investment of the coaching doesn't feel uncomfortable, it's not going to change anything. I didn't say something. It's not going to change something, anything, like nothing, nada. So continue being on your sofa and eat chips. So wouldn't we agree? I have carrot seeds, right? And now I have the possibility to put in one single carrot seed. How high are the chances of me having a field of carrots from just one seed I'm planting? Or I have the other possibility to plant 1,000 carrot seeds simultaneously. How high are now the chances of me having a massive field of carrots after a period of time? And if your goal is to have a massive field of carrots, would you just plant one seed or the 1,000 seeds? Exactly. Most of us would plant 1,000 seeds. And the same is true energetically. If you invest out of your comfort zone, right? It has to feel uncomfortable. I deeply believe this. Same with the gym membership. If the gym membership is just €1 or $1 a day, how high are the chances that you're going? It's not about the money. It's how much are you invested? And that in our world in which money is so important, we made it so important, invested means most likely for us financially, in order to also be energetically invested. So if your investments in yourself, in your business, in your growth, in your journey are not out of your comfort zone, do not feel comfortable, you cannot expect big money. And I see this over and over and over again. And yes, we can argue, hey, it's just a belief, but it's true. Prove me any other way. Like someone that just invested €5 in whatever and received 1 million or 2 or 10. Some of you smarty pants are going to say, hey, but this is true for the lottery winners. Yes, and now we're looking at the statistics. How quickly is the money gone again? Very quickly. Why? Because they haven't built the vessel. They haven't built the vessel. So when we do this work and actually invest in our own journey, in our personal growth, what's happening is we are expanding the vessel. It keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. And this makes sure that you actually constantly make more money, that you do not have the income dips of up and down, up and down. Like if you would ask, like, let's say you win the lottery, right? The investment was $5, you win the lottery, now you have multi-millions. Now, a year or 2 years later, the money is gone, and I'm going to ask you, like, how are you going to make this money again? What do you think is the answer of the lottery winner? Oh, just going to buy another lottery ticket. Okay, let's be honest, how high are the chances that you're winning big money in the lottery twice in a relatively short period of time? Not so much, right? But now imagine you've learned, you've mastered your first 100K month. Now let's say, not that I'm wishing you anything, but let's say you would lose everything again. And now I'm asking you again, hey, can you rebuild this? What's going to be your answer? Yes. So for me, always is, we don't actually want a shortcut where someone just gives you miraculously the money and you win the lottery or whatever. Like, you actually want to earn. You want to do the work, because you will have this inside of you for the rest of your lifetime. People always ask me, why are you not scared about making money? Because I've made so many millions, over 20 in 6 years. I'm not scared. I know how to make money. I also don't think it depends on my audience or how many people are watching, blah, 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 blah. I don't care about this. I know how money works. I know how to make big money. And this is a part of me. It's a part of my identity. I will always remember and I will always know. And that's why I'm not scared. And the same is true for you. And if you're ready to make 100K months, if you're ready to be in this big money energy every single day, the Rich Woman's Room is for you. And you can join. You just come and enter, you get the link, and I'm going to share a little bit about what's included, because I've realized I didn't even come live yet and talked about the offer. So, first of all, we are having AI Fridays, and this is really the heart piece of my work. So I've been coaching for over 6 years, roughly at least 5 hours a week, and we've built Janine AI, not Janine AI, it's Ask Janine, it's an AI based on my coaching. And with this, we're really diving into the deep subconscious work of your limiting beliefs, your financial money blocks, upper limit problems, right? They're the easy or clearly visible upper limit issues. Like if I ask you, what's the maximum you've ever earned? Okay, this is clearly a financial threshold and financial upper limit. And we go very deep, like where is it coming from? Like how can you actually see it? Because first we have to understand, or we have to see where we are limiting ourselves. What's your self-sabotage pattern? I always say this, like people think like, hey, I don't know how to brand myself. I don't have the perfect photos. I don't have the blah, 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 all those things. And it's not true. Like I just posted today, like something, a story that made me $600,000 a couple of years ago, where I was coming from hot yoga, like really messy hair, sweaty, and this I was selling like that my Business Millionaires Club, which was $100,000. And this is what I've been doing till today. It's not about how you look, how perfect things are. I could tell you now, oh my gosh, guys, look, this is my, can you see my Dior cashmere sweater? And no one even knows, like no one cares, you know? It's not about the things, or this is not how we sell. And the other part we're really, so is the energetics part we're focusing a lot on in the Rich Woman's Room. And then we're also having, obviously, the business part, the strategy part, which I equally love. And this is, I deeply believe everybody of you has to have at least a $50,000 offer to anchor a certain frequency, to anchor certain value, and not just only have the offer, obviously sell the offer. So a massive part of the Rich Woman's Room is really creating at least one high ticket offer that is 50K and more, and how to embody this and how to sell it and set up your company, your brand, your online presence, really, that people just reach out, and I'm like happy to pay that. And this is really something I've mastered, and that's why I feel like I'm sharing more lately older stories where nothing was perfect, where I haven't had any fancy, shiny things, and people were still purchasing from me like 50K, 100K, 250K offers on a weekly basis. And I'm contemplating so much why and what happened. And the more I'm diving deep here, it is really that I've just embodied power. Wealth, money is power. So the question we're also answering in the Rich Woman's Room, your journey to 100K months, is like, where are you afraid of holding more power, of being more visible? And can you see, like, if we don't have the answers to that, it doesn't matter like how perfectly curated your Instagram feed is, like, because you're going to be hiding. You're not going to be on video, you're not talking, you're not showing yourself. Like, you're not showing the world how freaking powerful you are, how genius you are. You're not having this bold authority. And that's why this room is so powerful. And obviously my favorite part is you're also having access to all the, forgot this, it's not my favorite part, but you also get this, is having access to the Rich Woman's Room private podcast. There are 3 podcast episodes every week coming. So literally there's something going on for you, like 10-15 minutes every day to tune in, to stay in this energy, like yeah, just to connect. And when you join, you immediately get instant access to a 4-week mastermind with me. The calls are always Thursdays. And it's life-changing. This is like, everybody who's inside says like, I love this mastermind. This is my favorite part. And we just get to know each other really well. And I've realized this really kicks off all the group coaching programs so insanely well, because I get to know you, I know where you are at, I get to know your business, you get to know me. We build like a really trustful relationship already in the beginning. And then for the next 5 months, it's you really implementing what's happening on a weekly basis inside the Rich Woman's Room. The investment is $5,555 US. Remember, you just comment enter, ENTER, to enter the room. And if you're super fast, you can join right now. And I see you in a little bit in today's mastermind already. I love you. You've got this. $100,000 a month with a coaching business, with an online business, is easy to make. You're easily capable of that. There's so much money being printed all the time. Like I always say, if you don't take the money, guess what? Somebody else does. Like me, for instance. And obviously I love it when I'm becoming richer and make more money. And I love it when you take some money too, when you become richer and wealthier and more powerful as well, because the world really desires powerful women. I love you. You've got this. Talk to you soon. Remember to comment, enter to join the Rich Woman's Room right now. There is not a better time to join right now. The price is likely going up because it's just currently a little bit underpriced. But it's okay. I want to give you a little present. Love you. Talk to you soon.